Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson holds a slim majority, and nearly every Democrat is expected to vote no. But if this passes, the White House says President Trump is ready to sign it tonight, officially ending this 43-day stalemate. Before he can do that, Trump is hosting a dinner at the White House with some of Wall Street's biggest names: J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, BlackRock's Larry Fink, and Goldman Sachs' David Solomon are all expected to be there. We will take you there live if the president delivers remarks. Now, all these developments are happening just as the House is teeing up a different vote on releasing the Epstein files. Speaker Johnson finally swore in Arizona Democrat Adelita Grijalva today, and she became the final signature on a discharge petition for those Epstein files. And that's coming after other bombshell news from House lawmakers. Democrats released never-before-seen emails from late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including one that alleges that Trump, quote, knew about the girls. In another email from 2011, Epstein told Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump spent hours at his house with a sex trafficking victim. The White House strongly pushed back today, accusing Democrats of launching a distraction campaign.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep.
We have a lot to dive into tonight, but let's start with NewsNation's Joe Khalil, live for us at Capitol Hill. Joe, all right, critical moment for this shutdown vote. Break it down for us. Speaker, I mean, it's going to be close, but it's going to pass.
That's the expectation that we have now, Elizabeth, is that it is going to be potentially a tight vote. But Republican leadership, everyone that we've spoken to, they say that they are confident that they will have the votes ultimately to pass this tonight, to get it to President Trump's desk, and to end what will be the longest shutdown in American history thus far. We've been talking to some of the more moderate members, frankly, on both sides. Now, it is possible that you get a couple of Democrats that end up voting for this. There may be some Republicans that ultimately vote against this. But again, we expect ultimately this is going to pass, that it has the votes. I can tell you we have been here several times when there were critical votes, whether it was the big, beautiful bill or previous spending packages. Typically, if there are issues, if leadership is starting to get worried, we would know about it by now. But at this point, the fact that we haven't seen any major breaks yet in support, that we haven't seen any sort of runaway people making any demands outside of just passing the bill, that is a good sign for the government shutdown ending and for Republican leaders who want to move forward on it tonight. So in about 30 or 40 minutes, we expect that vote is going to happen. I'll just say that we've already seen the procedural vote ahead of this in the last hour, and that passed by about 4 votes. So that's not always a direct indication that the bill will pass, but it's a pretty good sign that you've got enough support when you can go through the procedural motion without any problems.
And there's enough confidence that it's going to pass that orders are already going out to federal workers to report to work tomorrow morning. So that is a very good sign. Meantime, we've got the swearing in of the Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva. She was the 218th yes on the discharge petition. So this sets up a full vote in the full House on whether to demand the release of the Epstein files. When might we see that vote on the floor of the House?
So we've talked to Democratic leaders about this. They think sometime in early December that vote would be set up. And you're right, it's very important. Now Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, now that she's been sworn in, she's about 25 yards to my right, by the way, as I'm speaking to you now. So now that they have enough votes, that is going to be a vote that will be forced on the floor. And we've been reporting today that while this is a mostly Democratic-led effort, it is bipartisan. Congressman Thomas Massie, Republican, Democrat Ro Khanna, they came together to really get the ball rolling. And there are some Republicans who, by the way, have gotten phone calls today, we can confirm, from President Trump asking them to remove their names from that discharge petition. They did not do it. So you got that, plus the emails that you talked about that House Democrats on the Oversight Committee released this morning. There was a lot of of momentum moving forward to get at least a vote, a symbolic vote, which is important to release the Epstein files. And this is what the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Robert Garcia, said about this moment and why he thinks it's such an important one.
What is Donald Trump trying to hide? Why is he directing what clearly is a cover-up? Why don't they want the Epstein files released? I think those are all the questions that people should be asking. And Donald Trump is now apparently calling Republican members of Congress directly, bringing them possibly to the White House to take them off the petition. Because what we know is if that discharge petition goes through, I've talked to numerous Republicans that are planning to vote yes.
And I should tell you, several House Republicans, the White House, President Trump himself, they have all said this is a distraction. They said that Democrats have selectively picked out some emails and ignored others. So they're not really taking it seriously, at least on the surface here, Elizabeth. But again, the momentum is moving forward. Just want to set expectations. Even if this does pass the House, it's unlikely to be taken up in the Senate. Certainly, it doesn't seem at all like President Trump would be interested in signing that into law. But it would be an important symbolic move if the House does pass it.
Yeah, everybody will be on the record. And fighting the narrative that they're not taking this seriously is President Trump calling Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace. Lauren Boebert went to the Situation Room for an extraordinary meeting with the director of the FBI, the Attorney General, to pressure her to change her mind and vote no. She did not change her mind. So this is amazing. Okay, Joe Khalil, let us know when the vote gets closed. Come back in. We'll have you back on and get the update on the government hopefully reopening.
Will do.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.